Hi guys, welcome. Today I want to do a pick a card reading. I have 4 options. I have this beautiful amethyst palm stone, number 1. I have this really beautifully powerful Jasper gabbro. I just love what's in there. This beautiful opalite heart. Yeah. And this absolutely super, super powerful, potent K2. Right? One of my faves. So, option number 1, amethyst. Option number 2, Jasper gabbro. Option number 3, opalite heart. Option number 4, K2. Now, hold on. Before we select, I want to add a message card, right? Today our topic, by the way, is going to be what you need to know right now. I kept trying to narrow it in, but it literally just came in as this general, what needs to be known right now. So we're just going to let that be. And I just want to drop an oracle card on each one of these for a little more clarity, for a little more validation. Always remembering, right, that your intuition is going to make this choice for you. You don't have to push it. You don't have to force it, right? You just allow, you just allow your intuition to do the job here. You do not have to do any work for this. This is where your intuition becomes part of the magic of this process, right? So beautiful, so lovely. Okay, there we go. Number 3. Last but not least, number 4. By the way, I started with 3 and got a very definite, no, we're doing 4 today. So here are our 4. I'm going to let you sit with these for a minute, just in case you're getting a feeling off of any of these. Go ahead and sit with them, and then we're going to turn them over in the readings. Okay, we're going to turn them over in the readings. So, all right. You know, I just do what I'm told, y'all. So you have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Go ahead and find the timestamps, and I'll see you in your reading, okay? All right, guys, if you haven't made a choice, let's go ahead and grab some oracle cards together for each of these piles. Maybe you'll have options by the time we're done. Maybe not. That's okay. Here's what I do want to remind you. Our topic today is what you need to know right now. All right. So this is, I don't want to call it an urgent message from the universe, but it's an important message, right, from the universe. And it's something that the universe wishes for you to know. And however that comes in, right? However it lands, we'll see. We don't know yet. We're just being open for any insights, any awarenesses that the universe wants to share with us, bring to us, anything like that, right? Okay, fine. We'll keep shuffling. We don't mind. We don't mind a bit. I would rather ask for clarity than get the incorrect or weak message, right? Okay, so that's deck number 1. Let's keep going. Deck number 2. Also, let's talk about this. This is a general reading. This will not resonate for everyone. It may or may not resonate for you today. That is absolutely as it should be, right? We cannot gather every message for every person on every day. So please, just like you allow your intuition to be your guide in the choosing of the pile, please allow your intuition to be your guide in the reception of the messages, right? Don't push things. Just like you're going to allow that intuition to choose for you. We're also going to allow your intuition to be the chooser when it comes to what part of this message is for you and what part of it isn't. So here's the deal. If it resonates, if it feels like a yes, beautiful. If it does not, please leave it here. It is probably someone else's message, right? Remember, this is a timeless reading, so it doesn't matter when this messaging finds you. The message is always embedded with the energy that it is for you, right? And as such, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. So these are our final oracle piles, right? So again, if you want to feel into that, you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Check those timestamps, and I will see you in your reading. Hey, my pile number ones, those of you who chose this beautiful amethyst palm stone, I just want to show it to you again because it's so beautiful. I love it. Yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, so let's see what you got from the oracles, shall we? You have refine your attention. Beautiful. This is a call to focus, right? And, you know, here's the thing. Sometimes it's hard to focus. Sometimes it's hard to reel ourselves back because we have so much coming at us all the time, all the time, all the time. The universe is talking. The universe needs things from us, right? The universe requires us to do this and this and this and this and this concept of multitasking that's so prevalent and prominent in our culture. Sometimes it's not about the quantity of things you can do at once, but the depth at which you can do one thing, right? Let's just keep that in mind as we move through here. Okay. Yeah, we'll put it there. So you have the vision quest. Well, okay. So I love this card, first of all, because it's an action card, right? We're talking literally about a quest. What are you seeking, right? And if you're not focused, it's very hard to know what you're seeking, right? This is about facing your fears. This is about finding your life within your mortality, right? And really taking the quest on as a call to action. It's important, right? Because mostly the vision quest card is about where are you not listening to spirit. You are definitely being requested. Your presence is being requested at that conversation with spirit. Okay, you also have the Aquarius card. So beautiful. Depending on when this is finding you, we are in the midst of Aquarius season now. When I'm recording this. If not, it doesn't really matter. Aquarius energy is so beautiful, right? Aquarius energy really asks you to focus, right? Focus on something larger than yourself, and how you fit, right? How you fit both as an individual, but as an individual whose power is devoted to creation of yourself within your own highest and best, and thusly serving the highest and best of everything, right? So beautiful. You have a very cohesive energy here. Oh, look at that. So you also have the Sentinel. Let's just make a little bit more room for that. There we go. So the Sentinel, determination and certainty. Again, very clear message here. This is about focus. This is about where you are above distraction, right? Where you are mission focused, where you are devoted to something singular, right? This is your rational mind. And so, so, you know, the way that we choose how we're in action is always super important, mostly because That always defines our trajectory. It defines how we walk our path, how we choose our action. And, you know, when you're going off on a quest, it's because you're looking for something new. The bottom line is you have to be ready for anything when you're in motion. Now, I just want you to know that I am fully trusting Spirit on this spread. I'm not doing it like I usually do. Okay, we'll take them. We'll take them all. We have the Page of Swords, the Two of Wands, the Four of Wands. Okay. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Six of Pentacles. I actually had to count that. Because sometimes I don't really read those Roman numerals so readily, right? They're hard. I'm not a Roman. And yet, some people read them with absolute ease. And the Queen of Wands. Okay, we're going to start here. Okay, so again, you have some information coming toward you, right, about your ideas, about the way that you're on the ground with those ideas, and the way that you're moving within them. We have a little bit of concept of give and take. Perhaps you're out of alignment with your reciprocity, whatever that means to you, right? If we're in the process of creating a flow state, and guess what? Maybe that's what you're looking for. You know, you do have the Two and the Four of Wands, and those are going to call to you something powerful. Right? And then you have the Queen sitting down here. So this is about the way that you're making choices and what's behind those choices, right? Yeah, so there's a probability to me that your attention has been past focused, right? You're looking behind you. Hello. You're looking behind you. Oh yeah, you definitely are looking behind yourself. So your focus is somewhere outside of where it needs to be. And what I mean by where it needs to be, this simply means that you're not in the present, whatever that means. And the thing is, as we pour our energy forth, as we pour our attention forth, as we make our choices about what it is we're looking at, where and why and how, what happens is that's generally what we call to us, right? In terms of our magnetic presence. We very definitely get that which we're looking for. And so if you are calling these things in, what happens is that perhaps you're very thought focused, right? And by that I mean what's happening is that you're creating from a place of braining, right? And that's beautiful, right? Braining can be a very devoted state of mind, right? What we dedicate ourselves to is very important. But here's the deal. You have to remember why you dedicated yourself to a thing, right? You dedicate yourself to something because it gets you something, because it means something to you. If you don't dedicate yourself to something that means something to you, you absolutely lose your attention. You lose your focus. You lose your why. And what happens in that state is that you can't get anything back because you're not giving in the right state, if that makes sense. Let me talk a little bit more about that. If you're approaching this as, well, this is the logical thing to do. This is the logical thing to do. I'm going to keep this up. What happens is you lose your passion, right? You become kind of disassociated from the actions that you're taking. A vision quest is all about getting a message from the universe about how you're supposed to be moving through your life, right? What is your purpose? What is your reason? And if you're looking at something from a very thought-based, very left-brained perspective, you're really going to lose your your interest. And I'm a big fan of saying that, you know, motivation, we can get motivation anywhere. Like, you can see a billboard, you can hear a song and be like, yeah, right? You're motivated to do a thing. But the devotion and dedication that comes after, right? That's a whole nother thing entirely. And you know what? I want that. I want that one too. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. And if you don't have the devotion and the dedication, that motivation is meaningless, right? You don't get anywhere, because on the second or third day, when you're tired and you don't feel like following through on what it is that you had that spark about, you know, sparks don't always light fires. Sometimes they fall on a place that is not fertile, right? That has no combustible material, right? Where there's no friction. And if you don't have the friction because you're not really attending to what you're trying to do, you don't have that reason, you're just trying to brain your way through it, it's not going to happen, right? You're going to be like, whatever. You're going to lose interest hard. You're going to lose interest hard. And whatever it was you said, yeah, this is it, I'm in, it is going to fall flat. It's going to fall by the wayside. And here's the deal. The Sentinel, to me, has that association of the Nine of Wands, right? Which is, I understand that this is my job, this is my duty, this is my obligation, but I'm not really invested, so I'm getting a little tired, right? The thing about this card particularly is that this really is about duty. It's about what I'm supposed to do. Well, guess what? What you're supposed to do isn't always what brings you joy. And if you're not acting in joy, again, you're, you're going to absolutely lose your interest. You're not going to have the what it takes to keep going. Let's look at the second set here. You've got the Devil, the Eight of Pentacles, the World, the Knight of Wands, Strength, and the Emperor. Okay, so let's talk about this. So this is about whether or not you are giving time to the things that you're hooked into, or whether you're doing these things in order to further your own cycles, right? Again, if you have that why in proper perspective, in proper perception, right, in proper relation to you, then there's no bounds to what you can create. You become fearless in the face of opposition. You become capable of utilizing your own energy in such a brilliant and beautiful way as to keep showing up because it's the right thing, not because you have to, right? Not because your brain says it's the right thing, but because your heart says it's the right thing. So the way that you're trying right now to position yourself, to move yourself, guess what? You're really integrating this process, this lesson. This is coming forward for you in an effortless way, right? So how the universe is speaking to you, what the universe is telling you, and you have quite a few majors doing a lot of talking to you. And also I would pay attention to the people in your life, right? I think you have some great examples of what you're needing to look for. And that's quite a beautiful thing, honestly. You're being given every opportunity to lean in a different way. You're being given you're being shown every reason to keep moving forward in the way that brings you joy. You're being handed every resource, right, that is required in order for you to keep moving forward. You've got it all, right? All of this is about the flow of really allowing your passion to lead you, right? This is not about duty and obligation. This is about that thing that makes you want to dive in face first, right? And whatever that is, okay, I'm just going to tell you, this card popped out like 3 times, so we're going to take it. This is about creating what you want, right? So there's been kind of, I think, a flow to your life where you've been in service to, right? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But what's happening is that you're going to be transforming into a self-led endeavor. Whatever that... You hear the bird, right? Oh, hi, Mr. Cardinal. He's a big red cardinal. Whatever that means to you, you better take it. Because ain't nobody singing out there. And now he is. You're moving into a self-led endeavor, right? So we're moving into this place where your own personal knowledge, your own personal experience, right, is going to allow you to shift from this past focus. This is what was. This is what I had to do. This is where I believed I was going. This is what I thought my trajectory was. This is what I always was told my life was going to look like, right? Well, guess what? If you don't agree with those things, it's your job now to transform them, to allow the wheel to roll, to allow integration to uproot those things that are stuck in your experience, those things that are keeping you held back, those things that are keeping you just walking in the same way every single day. I wake up, I do this. 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 Is it making you happy? I don't know. I'm going to guess, based on your choice here, that it's not. It's going to be very transformative. And I would suggest that whatever it looks like on the other side is absolutely not what it looks like now. But guess what? It's going to be so worth that shift, so worth that change. Pile number 1. My goodness. This is exciting. So whatever is moving for you, man, let it move, because the personal satisfaction on the other side of this is outrageous. And again, this is a huge, major life shift, right? You have plenty of majors pulling you forward. The universe is speaking to you. Please make sure you're listening. And here's why. When we don't listen, what happens is that the universe kind of has to come in and kick our butts. So make sure that you don't make the universe kick your butt, right? Put yourself into motion. Put yourself into motion. Find that thing that is inspiring to you and dedicate yourself to it. Devote yourself to it. Give your energy to it and watch how it feeds you back, right? And let that be enough momentum to just give you the start to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, right? This is divine intervention. It's divine messaging for you. So pile number 1, I love this for you. Love it, love it, love it. Hit like, hit subscribe. Come back, let me know how this goes. I'm super excited for you. And if this is where you exit, I say blessings. And if not, I'll see you in the next reading. Hey, pile number 2, those of you who chose this beautiful Jasper gabbro. Look how gorgeous this is. It's just got so much happening in there. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see. We're talking for you about what you need to know right now. Let's see what your oracles have to say to you. Okay, so you start with strengthen your gifts. Absolutely. Right, so strengthening your gifts is about really witnessing what's important to you and calling those gifts into focus. Okay. Have the owl. Okay, so when we're talking about gifts and focusing for the owl, right, what we know about the owl is that the owl is the master of darkness, right? The owl works in the darkness comfortably, right? Has so much clarity, has so much focus again, right? And so if your gifts are about focus and clarity, about really witnessing every little detail, about seeing everything that's in front of you, that's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And it's about the way that you're choosing to exercise those gifts or not. So whether or not you're ignoring details, whether or not you're kind of allowing yourself to be, the word that wants to come through is hoodwinked by the darkness. If that means something to you, take it. If you're allowing yourself to be hoodwinked by the darkness, ignoring your gifts, right? Ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this, right? What is my lesson here? Am I really applying that part of the why, about why I'm here? Yeah, okay, so you also have the North Node, which is about your future. The North Node is about how you choose to put yourself into motion. It's about the way that you're utilizing your gifts and talents, right? Your gifts and talents in order to really further your sense of purpose and learning in this lifetime. So, last but not least, you have the Orator, right? This is all about communication. It's also about confidence. So this is about whether or not you're really looking at the whole script, or whether you're allowing, let's call it someone else's script, whether you're allowing someone else's version of how and why you're here to be the thing that's got you in motion. And the question here is not necessarily whether you're doing it wrong right now, right? Because here's the deal. We can only know what we know, right? And when we know better, then we can do better. And so this feels like kind of a pivot point, honestly. Let's keep going and let's see what the tarot has to say. I will say this. I am not scripting the tarot today. I'm just kind of allowing it to pop out in whatever way it wants to. So we'll see. We'll see what comes in support of this, right? Like, who's in control of your motions? Pile number two. Pile number two. Let's see. Let's see what we get here. All right. So you get a 5 of Wands. You know what? Pile number one also got a 5 of Wands. This is about feeling a little stubborn, right? This is about the way that we are posturing, the way that we're refusing to let new information come in. And that feels pretty congruous with what we have. Let's keep going, though. You have the 7 of Cups. So you might feel like you're confused about about the way that you have options to move forward, about the way that you believe that you're able to move forward, right? It might be about your foundations and the way that you witness your sense of timing, whether or not it's attached to that concept of divine timing, right? Of that big overarching kind of reason, right? It might feel like needles in a haystack, right? It might feel like you're looking for needles in a haystack and you're not quite sure exactly where to look. We're going to take these. Death, the 4 of Wands, the King of Swords. So it really might feel like you've been struggling to come into your own sense of purpose, to your own sense of connectedness, to your own sense of purposed action, right? So you might feel like you've been in service to something else. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're not confident, well, let me put it this way. You can feel confident and still be telling somebody else's story, right? You can very confidently be telling something that doesn't really belong to you. And what happens at that point in time is that you feel like you're building someone else's future. And the key here is, if you feel like you're building someone else's future, it's very hard to ever really have the joy and the clarity that allows that to either be yours or feel like it's yours. And the bottom line goes like this: if you're telling somebody else's story, you're denying your own gifts, right? And what I mean by the telling someone else's story, by the way, is that here's the deal: you are always in control of your narrative, and the way that you choose to stand in perspective to that narrative, right? Whether you've examined it and found it resonant with you, like, this is my real narrative. This is the way that I want to build my foundation. This is where I want to create my own blissful future. If you haven't done that, what happens is that you're putting all of your energy behind something that doesn't belong to you, right? You're putting your efforts and your focus and your attention on something that isn't quite yours to begin with, right? Because if it's not resonant, what are you building? You're building something for someone else. And that's always going to feel a little confused. That's always going to feel a little out of sync. That's always going to feel like you're struggling to play catch up. Right, now there are a few cards here that came in for pile 1, and these are completely different decks. So if you're feeling like this is validated for you, you might want to listen to pile 1, because there are similar messages here. In this case, this is really about pulling your power back, about really looking for your own story within every possible story. And the way that comes in for you not only creates clarity out of confusion, but it also creates solid foundation where things may have been upside down. It also allows you to create motion where there perhaps was just this sense of like running to put out fire after fire after fire. And guess what? That never feels grounded. That never feels rooted if you feel like all you're doing is racing around to put out other people's fires, and you're not allowed. And by allowed, I simply mean you're not giving yourself permission, right, to dig deep within you and look at your light. Right? Look at your clarity, look at your identity, and really allow yourself to believe in yourself as opposed to putting your faith into someone else's something, right? It's time for you to let's call it refocus your I want to just say writing skills, right? What you're putting out into the world, what you're calling in, right? The way that you're created. Look at that. Absolutely. It's time for you to stop telling somebody else's story. It's time for you to really get in line with what you've got going on, what you need to be doing. Right? This is like trailing out. This is handing your energy to someone else. This is giving over your power, your narrative, your identity, your will, your self-control to someone else, your future to someone else, right? Because you're giving over your present. For clarifiers, you have the Star, the Hermit, the Wheel, the Hierophant, and the Five of Cups. So in every single way that you're looking at something that doesn't feel right, please know that the universe has you covered. Right? You have these beautiful full cups waiting for you. And the universe is very patient, right? The universe is very patient and is always going to offer you the opportunity to learn your lesson, to shape your lesson, to form your lesson, to experience your lesson, so that you can express it, so that you can integrate it, so that you can conjure it as pieces and parts of you and your own journey that ring true for you, right? No matter what the destruction was, right? No matter how much stuff you had to take apart brick by brick, you still were able to build that safe, firm foundation out of the confusion. And sometimes all it takes is just a little shift in perspective for everything to become clear. Like, think about like when you go to the eye doctor and they do that little twisty thing and they go 1 or 2, 3 or 4, right? And they just turn the little dial. Well, guess what? What happens when you turn that dial and shift your focus? It allows you to say, yes, that works. No, that one doesn't work. Yes, that I see that. No, I don't see that, right? So this for you is a shift in focus that allows you to absolutely put yourself into motion for yourself, right? To really start to create your own self as outside of the confusion, as outside of the chaos, the blurriness that perhaps has been part of your cycle till now. The key here is what matters to you in the 3D. Where have you been putting your attention on worldly things? Where have you been putting your attention on I don't like the word negativity, right? But where are you investing your energy in stuff that doesn't belong to you, right? Stuff like, and by that I mean like the news media, entertainment, other people's business, your neighbor's stuff, your coworker stuff, right? Stuff that doesn't matter in your life, just nonsense and drama, really. Junk that's junk, right? Brain junk, life junk, right? The concept of like acquisition, or what it is that I need to find or seek or chase, right? Places where I've been looking outside of myself, right, for some kind of validation or sourcing, or I have to find these things outside myself in order to build myself up, in order to feel some kind of way about myself. And what's happening is really this is like a stripping away of all that nonsense and just having confidence in you, in the you that you are, and saying, you know what, I've shown up and I'm more than enough. I am plenty and then some, right? So by shifting your focus, you are absolutely commanding your existence and your reality, right? Which is a subsequent, oh, here we are, right? You're commanding your existence and your reality to follow suit, right? To come in line with what you want, the story you need to tell, what's important to you, right? The messaging, the messaging that comes through you calls in all of your details, right? Nothing is obscure. Everything is clear. All of your gifts and talents are utilized in pursuit of your highest and best, your lessons, your why, right? Ooh, this is what you need to know, pile number 2. I love it, love it, love it. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to hit like or subscribe so that you can come back and let me know how this goes, right? How accurate this is, how this resonates for you. It does help as I keep moving through what I'm asked to do on behalf of Spirit, the universe, and you. So I want you to take care. I want you to be blessed. If this is the place where we part company, take good care. And if not, I'll see you in the next reading. Hey, pile number 3. All right, those of you who chose this beautiful opalite heart, my goodness, I just love it. Isn't it beautiful? So rainbowy and yummy. Hope you can see that, because boy, it's pretty. Oh, Bye, gabbro. Oops. All right. So let's see what's going on for you. Let's see what your oracles have to say. Hello, face your shadow. Wow, that's a big start. My pile number 3s, right? So face your shadow really just talks about, it's a focus, right? We're literally in a focus conversation today. Pile number 1 and pile number 2 were really both about focus. So let's pay attention to that, right? So this is about including your big picture. This is about really witnessing all of those places where you're feeling fragmented, or where you're feeling, let's call it out of coherence, right? And this is the way that you choose self-love, the way that you shine your light into your own inner darkness. And this is how we work on acceptance of all of our pieces and parts, right? This is how we go back and do that work of finding what needs that inner adult, and really allowing ourselves to come back as our own authority and come into those places where we're hurt or sad or scared or in fear or in trauma, and how we are able to go back and work at that place, right? And this is work on all the levels, right? You might be a person who needs somatic work. You might be a person who needs talk therapy. You might be a person who needs energetic therapy. Whatever works for you. So it's your job as you do this shadow work to find your correct avenue to face that shadow, right? Okay, you also have a fire. Remembering, right, that fire is about passion. It's about action. It's about the way that you deal with things. It's also about, you know, how you're attracted to that fire, but fire will burn you and it will consume you, right? So it depends on what you're choosing to throw into the fire, right? We want to burn that baggage. Absolutely. And we want to make sure that we're always breathing, right? Because we need oxygen as we move through those fiery places. Oh boy, pile number 3. So you get Pluto. Okay. Wow, pile number 3. Just sit down, put your feet on the floor, buckle up. Buckle up. So this is transformation, right? This is big, giant transformation. This is lighting fires. This is the way that we face the things that are in the darkness, right? And the thing about Pluto is this is intense. This is pressure, right? Pressure from underneath. So all those things that you've hidden in the closet, all those things you've shoved under the rug, all those things you've buried in the backyard, this is, there's an urgency to this. And this is a time, whatever's coming up for you, because we're talking about what you need to know right now. So if you're dealing with challenging scenarios, if you're dealing with things that are deeply triggering, right? This might be an invitation or a recommendation to you to get some facilitation. Yeah, okay. So the last oracle card you have is the Gambler. And this is about loss and risks, right? So the fact of the matter is the Gambler assumes that things will change, right? The Gambler assumes if I just try again, 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 right? But we all know the odds are even between you and the house, right? The house is never going to really take a big sustained loss over time. You might feel like you're winning at some points, but if you keep doing the same things that you've always done, you're always going to get the same results. So the key to the Gambler is action, right? It's action. It's about breaking a cycle, which is absolutely 100% a congruous message here. So Yeah, let's see what the cards have to say, because that's pretty big and it's pretty clear. Yeah, so you're actually there's probably some work that you're being super impelled to do right now. It probably feels like, well, I don't even have a choice. This is being mandated, and guess what? You're absolutely correct. It might feel like you're careening toward that place where you don't have choices. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, Pluto is really notorious for that kind of energy, of the this is your only option level, right? Deal with it or suffer the repression. And that definitely feels like an accurate message with the Eight of Wands, the Two of Swords, and the Moon so far. But again, this is really a compelling card that wants you, not even just wants you, but is demanding that you take action, that you make some choices, right? And they might feel like fast choices, but you know, they're not going to be fast choices. They're going to be things that have been building and building and building over time until you get to the place, right, where you simply can't ignore it anymore. Like this is that energy that says, listen, I get it. I know it feels a little scary. I know it feels a little confusing. So Eight of Wands, Two of Swords, the Moon, Lovers, Knight of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. So this is the thing you've been holding back on. Like it's work that you know you need to do. It feels scary, right? Which is why you've been avoiding it. It feels like you just don't want to look at it. You just don't want, if I just keep going here, if I just keep doing this, right, it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. But the bottom line is it's not fine, and you know that, okay, you know that to be true. Yeah, absolutely. And so I think what's happening is that you have knowledge and awareness that there's another way, that there's a better way, and that what is presenting for you has not, wow, look at that. Okay. Anyway, very intuitively, the message comes in that you are being presented with information and skills, talents, ideas, awarenesses that are the thing that you require in order to do this work. The fact of the matter is that you already know it has to happen, and you can't look away from it. I think you've been trying very, very hard to look away from it because you know, I don't want to say you know what a monumental task it is, but you know that it's going to require a lot of shifting and changing on your behalf. Well, the universe is showing up here to say, listen, you've already got all of the tools that you need. Yes, you do, by the way. You have all the tools that you need in order to get moving. You've been handed all of the skills, all of the perhaps even facilitators or resources or ideas that you need. You have the motivation and you're very grounded, right? This I'm okay, I've got this, I'm okay, I've got this, it isn't working. But you're going to have to let that go, right? You're going to have to really understand that what doesn't feel good doesn't feel good, and it's not going to feel good until you shift and change it. Here's the thing. You 100% have all of the capacity to create this, to create this bliss for yourself. You really do, right? The universe is absolutely saying it doesn't matter how low you get or how low you feel like you're getting, you always have the witnessing of moving back up. You always will be shifted back into a place of more, back into a place of it's okay, this is all right, right? And intuitively you know that, but you're just avoiding putting it into action because it's a little scary, right? And it is scary when we get down to those layers of work that are, I mean, they're so deep and so personal and so intimate and so long held and so yucky, and you know, but I just want to say to you that the more you throw into the fire, the lighter you get as you move forward, right? The more you get to create, the more you get to create something from your heart that's going to allow you to claim your life in a deeper way, right? So here's the deal. If you have all of this baggage stuck in the well of your soul, okay, that means you can only get down so far to the water. And guess what? The sweetest water is at the bottom of that well. So the more baggage you can get out, right, the better that reward is. And once you get down to that sweet, sweet water at the bottom, you don't have to think about it anymore. You've done that part of the work. And what happens is that everything else gets easier. The deeper you go, right, the harder it seems, but the easier it is, because once you start doing the heavy lifting, you have this beautiful momentum carrying you forward, and you have the rewards, the real rewards of spirit, the real rewards of your own tangible results, right? The way that you shift and claim your foundation, and the way that you start to witness how things move, you know, and you get to plan longer. Like what I mean by that is, this is long-term planning, right? You get to see more of what comes, or what's coming, or where you're able to go, right? Because you've gotten rid of the fluff, and you're out of the cycle that goes, this is what we're doing, this is how we do it, this is what we're doing, this is how we do it, this is what we're doing, this is how we do it. And the thing is, you get to go anywhere once you've done the deep work. You get freer, you get more independent, you get less tethered to the things that you believe you need, right? The way that you're going, whatever, right? All of those choices that feel forced in the beginning become the vessel to your freedom after you've moved through them, right? They become your solid foundation. They become the thing that allows you to move forward more freely, more easily, and following your heart, following your, you know, this face first, this absolute bliss-filled engagement in your life becomes effortless, right? It becomes an expression of your heart to be alive, right? And you already know, I think you know, you have an innate knowledge of where, of course, we all know, right? Where we're stuck, where the things that have holds on us, right? Those roots, what's in those baggages, festerings, you know, and we have to clear them out. You have the tools. You have all of the tools, and you also have a knowledge of what it's going to feel like afterwards, or at least enough knowledge of what it's going to feel like afterwards to make the journey worth it. So pile number 3, it is time. What you need to know right now is that it's time for you to do some very deep soul work. If that means you need facilitation, that's beautiful, but you already know what's consuming you over here, how it needs to be, right? And you've been offered, you've been gifted all of the things you require. You just have to take that first step and allow for those, for that certainty of freedom, right, as the process, to pull you forward, to be the thing that allows you to step into what's new. And if it feels scary to do that, just sink into your soul, sink into your certainty of your own divinity, right? And witness that you can do it. You can be in charge of how you feel as long as you do this work over here, right? Just go back, do the healing, because there are pieces and parts of you that are crying out for that work to be done. You've got the tools. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it, pile number 3. You absolutely can. And I think it's no accident that you started with this beautiful heart, right? Because that's the source. That's the location of all of your work. So I wish you nothing but the best. You've got this. You've got this, pile number 3. Yeah, absolutely you do. Hit like, hit subscribe, so you can come back and let me know how it goes. Let me know if this resonates for you. And I wish you nothing but the best. If this is where we part, thanks for listening. And if not, I will see you in the next reading. Hey, pile number 4. Those of you who chose this absolutely stunning K2 palm stone. I love K2, by the way. It's wonderful. If you've never experienced it, I recommend going and grabbing a feel of it somewhere so you know what it means. All right, we're talking about what you need to know right now. Let's see what your oracles have to say. Wow, well, you get a big pow coming right out the gate. Address your addictions. Okay, so let's talk about this, right? Addictions are things that shift or change your focus from yourself, right? So this is about acknowledging the ways that you're allowing yourself to be limited by, I don't want to say a negative pattern, but a distracting pattern, right? So freedom comes when you address your the things that keep you stuck, right? The things that distract you, those 3D things, whether it's it can be drinking, it can be drugs, it can be sex, it can be working out, it can be working, it can be buying things, it can be scrolling mindlessly. The bottom line is that however you're in addiction to something, you are also in denial, right, of your absolute life, of the way that you're here to be. I heard a great definition of addiction once. It said, addiction is how you think you can manage things all by yourself, right? So take that for what it's worth, right? Addressing your addictions is your starting point here. You have the giveaway. Okay. So this is about where we are either in expectation or where we're in expectation of reciprocity, right? And so the giveaway is an invitation to be outside of that expectation of any kind of exchange. So it's about giving with only gratitude or with only joy as your motivation. And the thing is that you need to understand that what you're doing is just an action for yourself, right? And you have to give, like you give to get, but that's not your necessary mechanism, right? If you give, what happens is you always get back. But if you're giving so that you get back, right? Your intentions are kind of askew. Right? I understand that. Let's explore the message a little bit more. All right, so you have the 4th house. So the 4th house is that place where that's like the house that describes your maternal situation, right? How you were nurtured, how you nurture yourself, the way that you nurture others. So consider if your mom shoved food at you every time you were upset, you might expect that that's a perfectly healthy way to manage your upset. if your dad bought you something every time you suffered a loss, right, then you might assume that buying things is the way that you soothe yourself. And that's not always true. In fact, it's almost never true. So I'm getting it. I'm getting your picture here. Okay, and so you also have the vengeance, which is overcoming slights, a choice, right? So this is the way that your past is consuming you, right? You see this as an anchor tied to a red thread, right? Consider that this is the way that you're stuck in something from the past. If this is about a vengeance, right? It's about the way that something has a hold on you. And so your choices are to let it go or to manage like the void around that anchor, right? In order to either choose, yes, I'm going to keep doing this thing, or I'm going to heal what I have and move forward. And the bottom line is those are your choices, right? So consider too that giveaway card as a state that suggests that the things that you do in expectation, right? So if you're that person whose mother gave them food when they were sad, you have an expectation that that food is going to make you feel better. And when it doesn't, there's a whole maelstrom of stuff that comes up around that, with that, for that. And so the way that you're going to have to address those addictions is to address where the anchor lives, right, in the past. You know, again, we've had really interesting. The 1 and 2 readings were very, very closely linked, and the 3 and 4 readings feel like they're very closely linked as well. We'll see if that holds true. But this is really about how you're forging your new patterns outside of your perceptions of the way that you've had to manage them in the past. And the key here is, are you going to do the work, right, in order to heal, so that you can move forward, free and clear of those old patterns, those patterns that might be all about anxiety and dissociation and avoidance, right? We're literally talking about avoidance and anxiety and childhood. That's amazing to me. I'm telling you right now, energy never ceases to amaze me, guys. So you have the Knight of Swords, Death, the 9 of Swords, the 3 of Wands, the 4 of Cups, and the 6 of Cups. So this is every single way that you were that checking out or moving aside reinforced a pattern that was created when you were small, right? And the anxiety that comes along with those things absolutely is requiring transformation at this point, tackling those inner demons. And you know what? When I talk about inner demons, I'm literally just talking about your unhealed behavior patterns, right? I don't believe demons exist that aren't for and of you. And I don't believe there's a demon that exists within you that you do not have the power to befriend and to love into integration. So all of the ways that you have been taught in your life, or that you have taught yourself to self-soothe with really unhealthy or distracting or avoidance techniques or numbing techniques, every single way that you have something that is unhealthy or unhealed that works to distract you from your present, from any pain or the experience of whatever it is that you need to manage in your life. You're being asked to manage it now, to learn how to manage it. And the bottom line is that the more we do those things, the more we're able to make those choices of things that are going to bring us joy, that are going to allow us the freedom and the independence and the choice, right? The power of our own choices outside of our patterns, right? It doesn't mean that, oh, my feelings are hurt, I need ice cream. I had a bad day, I need wine. It's the weekend, I just get drunk now. So, or like, I had a terrible day, let me watch some porn. Or, I had a fight with my coworker, I need to go to the mall. I have to get online and spend some money, right? All of those things, those states of needing something external to you to fill the void for you, that is what's being highlighted for you right now. And I think it's absolutely stunning that you get the Two of Wands here. All right, we're going to take those two because they came out. Anyway, that you get the Two of Wands here, because this is really about choosing in line with your own highest and best, right? This is about the way that you get to witness, yes, I could choose this continuation, but I'm gonna choose to manage my inner demons, right? When all they are is those things, those ways that I was taught, those ways that my psyche taught me, those ways that my body and my subconscious mind taught me to feel safe when I didn't feel safe, to feel soothed when I didn't feel soothed. All of those things, right? All of those ways that those things that we create as our like blankies and binkies, and we carry them as weird, and I'm just using weird as a descriptor of unique and unhealed, right? Because we all have those, as the way that we carry those habits as weird coping mechanisms into our adulthood, and then we wonder why these things that we do don't get us anywhere, right? We wonder why we keep repeating the same patterns when we haven't come head on at the cause, or the causative factor, or the thing that was unmanaged, the place that we were hurt. Nobody came to help us teach ourselves how to deal with that hurt, to deal with that dysregulation, to deal with managing those feelings of hurt or fear or scared or sadness, or absolutely just being neglected or uncared for or abused in some way, or dismissed or pushed aside. Those things are the things that have to be managed, right? And so if we've been getting something for these addictive behaviors all of our lives, we're going to keep feeding that, right? Because it helps. It helps you feel better, right? If you need a drink, if you need a cigarette, if you need some weed, if you need to go shopping, if you need sex, if you need to go run, if you need the gym to feel better, you're going to keep doing it until you learn how to manage it in a different way, a healthier way, right? And that's okay, right? And if you don't know how to do it, if you can't make that choice on your own, find some facilitation. 100% I guarantee you there are plenty of free resources or low-cost resources or excellent resources in your network. You can find them. I promise you. Okay, on this side, we've got the Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. Okay, so we're really talking about creating solid foundations that allow you to build something, that allow you to juggle and manage, right? Real life things. This isn't just an idea, right? This is a real thing, and it's going to allow you to resource yourself in ways that allow you to use your heart in a better way, right? That allow you to kind of conserve your energy and not just manage your mind, right? But also manage those thoughts that are out of control or that feel out of control. You're going to come upon some new skills and some brand new ways to engage from your heart source And also, I think the Four of Wands was in every single reading today. Anyway, and just create those really solid foundations that allow you not to simply be in your beautiful, blissful, happy, shared heart space, but to offer that to the people around you, the people who love you, the people who want to be involved and engaged with you, are going to be able to do that like at a level they've never been able to before. And man, that's a beautiful thing, right? When you're not checking out, you get to check in. So how gorgeous is that? How absolutely gorgeous is that? Yeah, it's really about allowing yourself to become part of your own life in a way that's never happened for you before. And again, we're talking about having support, having people around you who are there for you, who are there as facilitators or just support people, maybe in a way you never had, right? If you didn't have that guidance or that facilitation or those safe spaces, right, when you were a child, in order to learn how to manage yourself, perhaps now those people are coming into play or coming into place, and they're going to allow you to witness the whole world in a brand new way. They're going to allow you, I love that, to find new ways to structure your own reality, new practices, new self-care practices, right? Instead of checking out, you get to check in. Instead of numbing out, you get to show up and be present, right? And this is a beautiful card here because this is mastery. This is, oh, I'm going to work on these practices. I'm going to recognize them as such. I'm going to conjure my reality block by block by block, right? You have the Ten of Pentacles over here, literally assuring you that you have the potential and the scope to create something beautiful, something brilliant for yourself. And that happens step by step, right? It happens by giving away your expectations, but understanding your mechanisms. It happens by giving away your wounds, but healing them at the same time. It happens by creating a framework and a structure and a scaffold in which you feel safe because you built it, because you created it, because you taught yourself how to do those things, how to manage yourself, how to nurture yourself, right? How to value yourself, how to find your own worth, and how to put those things into practice. Holy cow. Pile number 4. I love all the 4s that you have, and that 4, you're pile 4, and you're all about building yourself a solid foundation, right? That's brilliant, and it's beautiful. And I want you to be patient with yourself and with this process. This is what you need to know right now, but it's not going to happen overnight, right? This is doing the work. This is doing the work of deconstructing your past so that you can build your future, right? And guess what? You don't have to bring all those pieces, but if you need new ones, boy, oh boy, do you have them. So, gosh, this is going to be brilliant for you guys. Take good care and hit like, hit subscribe, and make sure that you come back and let me know how this worked out for you and if this resonates for you and all those good things. And I want you to take care and just trust your process, right? Trust your hardest days as temporary, right? Remember, your addictions are temporary too. They're temporary fixes. So don't expect this work to happen like a snap. Trust the process as temporary and the pain as temporary, but the rewards are lasting, right? That's the difference. Because when you're talking about addiction, it's a temporary removal of a stressor, because it's just an imaginary illusion of removing a stressor. When you do the work, you actually learn how to manage your stressors so that they don't feel like temporary fixes. You're reshaping your whole foundation, moment by moment, choice by choice, day by day. You've got this, right? And it's going to mean brand new opportunities, brand new everything, right? It means you get to be engaged, and the ruler of your life. Pile number 4. I love it. Be blessed. And I'll see you next time. I want you to take care. And good luck. Good luck. You've got this.